Hello and welcome to Exercise Science 210, Cardiovascular Assessment and Exercise Prescription. My name is Tom Carroll and I'm fortunate to be your instructor for this semester for this summer. Exercise Science 210 is an awesome course. I've been teaching it for quite some time and I love it. In this course, you'll be exposed to foundational information related to physical activity, health, and performance with a target specifically on cardiovascular endurance and body composition. You'll receive foundational information. You'll learn how to assess. You'll learn how to prescribe for enhancement of cardiovascular fitness and body comp, and you'll learn why all of that is important and necessary. So the course is designed to provide an initial experience or exposure to fitness assessment and prescription. We'll provide foundational content related to physical activity and exercise physiology. Sometimes I refer to this as exercise physiology light, but it's really cool information. And then we'll also expose you to calculations related to energy expenditure. So we'll do metabolic calculations. Don't let the math scare you. It's kind of cool. So if you're on a treadmill and it tells you that you burn 220 calories, you'll be able to calculate that, or you'll learn to know why. Also, too, if you have a watch or an app that tells you how many calories you burn or how hard you're working, we'll go over those calculations, and so you'll learn how to do them. So, which I love to teach. So the course is divided up into units. The first one is on physical activity links to health, fitness, and performance. And that'll be chapters 1 and 2 out of Halley's Fitness Professional Handbook and chapter 2 out of the ACSM Guidelines for Exercise Testing and Prescription. Second unit will be on foundational information related to exercise physiology and the energy cost of physical activity. This is also on the course syllabus, but I just wanted to give you a video overview of what we're going to be doing. Our last 2 units, you'll have a unit on fitness assessment and labs. So for cardiovascular fitness and body composition, along with labs 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if you caught it, but in unit 1, we'll actually have lab 1, which will be on PAR-Q and health risk appraisal and cardiovascular disease risk assessment. Each unit is 1 week, which is intense. So in the regular semester, each one is 3 weeks. So you'll need to jump on this content. You'll need to read the required chapters and view my lectures. I suggest that you preview the chapters and outline them, record key terms, write those down, and then when you're listening to me lecture, hopefully that'll reinforce or answer some questions that you might have when I give further explanation. I emphasize the highlights of each of those chapters, but you are required for all the content. There'll be quizzes for each chapter. You'll get to take those 3 times. And then those will feed into larger tests. And I can show you that on the course syllabus in a little bit. Let me show you an overview of EXSC, since that's how the course is going to be administered. Here's the home page for EXSC. You'll see an announcement board. If I have a couple of students with questions and they happen to be the same questions, and I think that maybe I need to make an announcement to the course, I'll post that information with any links here so you can subscribe to get notifications of these announcements. So I suggest that you do that. So bottom line is I'll post important information on the home page. Then under content, you have the course syllabus. I encourage you to read that. It has some great information. It's really important. You probably knew that. And then the content is divided up into units. So if you access Unit 1, you'll see that I give a brief overview. And then each unit will have a checklist. So if you access the checklist, it'll tell you what you need to do. Basically, there are videos, lectures to view. These are about 20 minutes each. So instead of me recording a 40-minute lecture, I've split them up. So important information here, a lot of definitions, get some good theory. And then Chapter 2, this also includes information on Chapter 2, plus information related to the lab. So I've split that up into 2. So this one is based on pre-exercise or pre-activity health risk assessment, and then this one specifically deals with cardiovascular disease risk factors. I also have my PowerPoints on here. That's in case you wanted some information off of those PowerPoints and you didn't want to watch the video again. I posted those for you. Then I have information related to Lab 1. Let me move it so that I'm not in the way. So for Lab 1, you have the instructions. For Lab 1, it's on health risk appraisals. You have the link for the PAR-Q that you'll need to complete and then upload to the proper assignment box. If you're pregnant or think you're pregnant, you also need to do the ePAR-Med X Plus. You can look at this even if you're not pregnant. I mean, but it's there just so that you know there is another form. And the purpose here is for us to learn how to prescribe exercise in an effective way to enhance health and to decrease the likelihood of injuries. So that's why they're 2 separate forms. No one will know. Everything that you share with me is confidential, so I don't share that information with anyone else. So if you have questions about that, let me know. For lab, since it's not face-to-face, we can still effectively do the risk stratification and assessments. So the way that's set up is you'll view that first lecture and then there'll be 5 case studies, and I'll show you how to work through those, show you what questions you need to answer. If in your notes you put the case study 1 and then you put the answers 1 through 5, and then do that for the next one, when you access the quiz, that's how it's asked. I'm not tricky at all. It'll have case study 1 and then it'll have 5 questions related to case study 1. Look at your notes, answer that so you make 100, and that way I know you know how to do pre-participation health assessment. Same thing is for cardiovascular disease risk assessment, although there you're adding up risk factors. And there are only 4 case studies there because there are 8 positive questions, 1 negative question, which means you can subtract a risk factor, and then you give the total. So there's 10 items times 4, that's 40. So that quiz, again, when you review the lectures, you'll see that. Here are those links, but you can also find them under quizzes. And then under Lab 1 Assistance, I provide the ACSM flowcharts for you. So I encourage you to look. Now, a lot of people just will open it and then click to the next one, click to the next one, so that on the checklist, it'll show that you've done it, but you haven't done it. So make sure when you view these lectures, you go from beginning to end. Okay. If I see that people are not completing these videos, then what I'll do in future lectures is I'll assign quizzes within the lectures that you can't fast forward to. I would rather, you do it because you think it's valuable instead of you having to get a lab grade. So new content will open up on Tuesdays and close on Wednesday. Lab Unit 1 has an extra day, which is today, Monday, if you're viewing this the first day. The last unit will only be from Tuesday to Friday. However, your last assignment, instead of a final exam, it will be an individual training program. That'll be due the following week. So even though the class ends, you'll still have time to work on that individual training program. Every unit will have an overview, a checklist, and then the relevant content laid out in a very predictable manner. So if you have questions along the way, please let me know. I hope that you enjoy this class. I think it's an awesome class. I think the information is really kind of cool. So if I can help you out along the way, please don't hesitate to ask. Take care.